Hi, I'm Jim.
And I'm Becca.
And we are professional Englishists. Like an old Vlogbros video, this video comes to you in parts. 4 of them. Part 1, Becca's back.
Yay! Hi!
And she's going to talk to you about her study abroad experience.
Yes, I studied abroad in China for a summer. I studied Chinese language, I took a few government classes, some calligraphy, and then Sichuan cooking, which was awesome. So studying abroad, one thing I tell my students, I teach ESL to foreign exchange students, essentially, and I prepare them to pass their TOEFL and get into the university. And I always tell them, first things first, get away from the group and practice the language. Because I did not do that. I did that a little bit, but I did not do that to the extent that I could have.
Right.
And therefore, 我会说中文，可是我说得不好. Therefore, I can speak Chinese, but I speak it very poorly. Very poorly.
But it's probably a different experience going to a country where you actually don't know the language. I mean, I knew the language in pretty much every country I went to except for Italy, although there were so many people who spoke English in Italy that it didn't matter at all.
I had to have my apartment written on a card because I couldn't say my street was, or my apartment complex was Tianfu Huayuan. And everything, like Tianfu is Heaven's Garden, essentially. So it was like, yeah, Tianfu Hua is Heaven's Garden, and Yuan is the street. But everything in Chengdu is Heaven's Garden. Everything. So I'd say it, and they'd say basically which one. And then I wouldn't understand when they said which one, and I would say, well, ting budong, I hear you, but I don't understand, and then we'd all get frustrated. So I did a lot of walking, and then I got my apartment complex written on a card,
right? And
I would just say, 我要去这个, I want to go here.
Right.
And they'd see it and take me.
That's part 1. Part 2, HumbleBundle.com. So HumbleBundle.com is a website that has been around for years, and what it has been doing is offering, like, video games, independent video games usually, for very, very, well, for as cheap as you want to pay. And it's usually set up so that there's like a handful of games that you can spend like a penny on if you wanted to. But if you spend $1 on them, you get a code for Steam. Mm-hmm. And then there's another handful of games that you get if you beat the average that people are donating. You can decide how to split it up, but there's always some charities. So you can decide how much goes to the developers, how much goes to charity, and how much goes to the website itself. Recently, they have also added a Humble Book Bundle, like every 2 weeks. And what it is they'll have ebooks that you can, same deal. There's a charity or 2 or 3. The money you spend goes to that charity, and you can get a bunch of them for $1, or you can beat the average or pay a certain amount and get them all, and more get added later. So it's really cool. I've gotten a lot of books through this service recently, and right now, they have comic book bundles. They have a comic book bundle right now that's Dynamite Comics, and so there's a bunch of stuff on there. There's like the Green Hornet comics are on there. Wheel of Time comics are on there. There's also a comic on there written by George R. R. Martin. Like, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff on there. So you should check it out. I'll leave links in the description below. But just like every couple weeks, it gets refreshed, and so you can get a whole bunch of books for relatively little money.
The comic book bundle I got was the Doctor Who bundle.
Yeah, that was like the last one. It was really cool. Yeah, I got that as well.
I was so excited.
Yeah.
Alright, so part 3. Part 3 is about our literature section. We wanted you guys to pick a book out of the 3. The 3 were...
Scott Westerfeld's Uglies.
Yes, Uglies. A River Runs Through It.
By Norman MacLean.
And then Perks of Being a Wallflower.
By Stephen Chbosky.
Yes. And so please place your vote. We're hoping to finish this by July 28th, and then we would go through and do this through the month of August.
Right. Yeah, that's something that's what we're going to do. Part 4, Tip Jar. So YouTube has announced that they're going to add something called Tip Jar. And it's going to basically be like you can volunteer how much money you want to give a YouTuber for like a video or whatever. And right now it's on like a trial basis, but it's eventually going to be put in, I think, on like all YouTube channels as long as you opt in for it. So what I wanted to say with regards to this is that you shouldn't feel obligated to give us money, but if you do, we will be eternally grateful.
Yes.
That's basically what it boils down to.
I mentioned that we're grad students.
Yeah. Another thing worth mentioning is that this is our 12th video, so this actually marks 3 months of us doing this every week. So that's something we're celebrating probably a quarter of a year.
Yay!
We've been doing it for a quarter of a year. So
I can't believe it's gone so quickly.
yeah, it seems like it's not been that long, but it really has. So
we've been talking about doing maybe some more ESL stuff, since that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, absolutely. We can definitely do that. And I think next week I want to work on. I want to go back to a bit of grammar and punctuation and stuff. Anyway, so okay. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, all of that good stuff. We'll leave links to everything down below.
Yay!
And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.